I think we might have a new leader. I think, just as seeing it over the
seems to have retaken that lead as they approach the completion of the first lap in this 15-minute race here at Snetterton. It is indeed Janicki who leads in number 19, Manara is second, Voice is third, then it is Boa next up. You've got the Starlet, you've got Neil Wade, and the rest of the escort horse. Piers Grange is already up very well. So Grange is up into 8th position as they go around and head towards Riches onto the second lap. So all 12 of them still running as they're already out of Wilson and heading down towards Palmer, which is the left-hand bend, and then towards Agostini, Hamilton, Oldies and Williams before they get onto the Bentley straight again.
And Tony, I'm intrigued that that escort of boys that managed to get into the lead so well, and then suddenly seemed to drop down the back straight, and is now back in contention again a little bit. So I wonder if had some problems something down that sort of Nelson end of the circuit. It just seemed to. Oh, I was almost expecting to come into the pits like it had an issue or something.
Yeah. But yes, it was picked up, whatever that was, in that Mark 1 escort, with the Castrol colours. Sort of car that would have raced in the DTM, I do believe. There was certainly a Mark II one like that, and then they started painting them black.
Is the Holden Manara going to gain down the back straight, the Bentley straight into Nelson? I'm not sure. We can't see the radio, unfortunately. I'm surprised.
Yes, I mean, he's pulled back 2 seconds, hasn't he, on that lap? But as you say, he's not. Maybe he's just taking it a little bit sort of circumspectly, bearing in mind the problems he's had. He's just taking it easy.
Trying to get us the last 15 minutes. A finish is a finish. Exactly. All said and done.
So Janicki still leads as they go into Palmer's, the left-hand bed that brings them then back into our sight and pretty close to us here in the commentary box as they head down towards Agostini. But it is the Nissan leading the Holden Manara. Those two now getting away from the rest of the field, which are led in 3rd position. Well, in fact, a long, long way back. In 3rd position is the Mark 1 escort on Colin Voice, the extra entry we gave you. That's in 3rd position. In 4th, it's Neil Wade in the Mini, so he's come up and gone past Steve Waterman in the Toyota Starlet. So those two are still pretty close though. In fact, as is Piers Grange, who is now catching them up. So Grange is now there, and the Manara is putting pressure on Janicki. So they head down the Bentley straight, and he was closing up, and now that gap is moving out again. Fastest lap so far so far.
But as you say, it's only an eighth quicker than the Janicki Skyline in front of. I'd have thought that car would have been a couple. Looking through here, that's where it seems to get. Look, the Skyline pulls away from it. That's why I wanted to get to the end of the race.
The fact that as they under braking, the Monaro catches up and he's going past as he gets side by side as they go into Palmer's, but he makes a challenge but not quite close enough as they re-emerge. No, he hasn't quite made it, but he's certainly piling the pressure on James Janicki, who may have thought after practice he was going to have this easy, but he's certainly not, because that Holden Monaro is going to make a huge vision in his mirror as they go now towards Hamilton.
It's interesting what you say about the gears there, Tony. It's almost like it doesn't pick up out of the corners particularly. It seems to be very slow on exit speed.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, they're still pulling away handsomely from everybody else, but the gap between them was just 0.9 of a second last time through at the start-finish line, which is...
So we're just at half distance now.
Yep, so they are on to the straight yet again, and yeah, Janicki seems to pull away down the straight. Yeah, that would be my guess, but then, you know, what do I know? I drive a Skoda, so I don't coming out, re-emerging briefly into our site at the bottom hole now towards Coram, and they are, yep, you see, look how he catches him up in Coram, really does. But then they come under braking for Murray's, which we might guess he is. Slightly, but 0.72. It was closer than that at various points around the circuit, and Andrew Wilson obviously in some sort of trouble. It's great to see him. He's taken one win so far this season. That was back on the 23rd of March at Alton Park. Neil Wade, in the meantime, is up to third place. And that was at Alton Park back at the end of March. So at the moment Wade is on the podium. He's got past Royce. The top boss runner is Piers Grange, who is in 5th place. That was what we suspected would happen. He's won his class 4 times so far this season, has Piers, and had a best result overall of 4th at that was at Alton Park earlier in the season. So this game of cat and mouse between the Skyline and the Monaro continues, and we have just over 5 minutes of the race left to run, so we're probably looking at 3 laps, I suppose. The 2 leaders are going to re-emerge into our sight at Coram at any moment. Again, he closes up, coming through Coram. Skyline going well, as I say, Brands Hatch, it had a couple of finishes, but they had a one racing finish with weather pouring out of it, and we had to report through Wilson they come.
It does make you realise how good Janicki's Skyline is, though.
Yeah, he was a dominant force. He's done a lot of as well. But getting pretty experienced now, James Janicki. And I think he'll have enjoyed this one, because he basically is being made to fight for this one. Some 3.5 minutes left race to run. It's Nissan Skyline versus Holden Monaro at the front of the field. Andrew Wilson, we think, with some sort of problem that is afflicting him. In third place, it's still the Mini of Neil Wade, holding off Colin Voice in the Mark 1 Escort, with the Castrol signage on it. And then in fifth position, the first of the Boss runners, which is the Piers Grange car, who has been about fifth position at the moment. We lost Ian Bauer at some point in his number 11 BMW, which hopefully can sort that problem out, because he's due to be racing well, 3 more times this weekend.
The closest Wilson's been to Janicki's Skyline is this lap coming through Coram, but again coming out of Murray's, he just doesn't seem to get that power down and pull it. But it was 7/10 on the previous lap, the second now, and it's closer this time. I would say probably the closest it's been. Yes, 6/10. It's a real cat and mouse there. Push from the end, I don't know, but they've got 1 minute 56, so they've got, this is it, there's a lot of lap, isn't it?
So here's the couple of battles we've got going on for third and fifth. At the moment it's Wade in the Mini against Voice in the Mark 1 Escort. They go through. Waterman, the Escort and the Toyota Starlet. So still fairly close little squabbles going on down the field. But the main one we've been concentrating on is the lead scrap. That's going into Oggies now. Yeah, the flag is going. So very lengthy 3-mile Snetterton circuit. Here's a good battle coming up between Escort and BMW. Across the line together goes the 21 car of Ben Dillon and the one of Palmer. To see they are coming out of the bomb hole any moment. And they're getting through some lap traffic, which I think momentarily proved a problem. We've got 22 seconds to go, you know. Are they going to get here before that? But he's got the flag in his hand. Yeah, they are getting another lap, aren't they? Through they go, and I'm sure James would have rather had the checkered flag on that lap to put him out of his misery, but he's going to do another lap. Which Escort is that? Is that the Harding car? No, Keith Hart? No, that's a Capri, isn't it? Number 4. So it's not any of the first 6, certainly, as these 2 squabbles for third and fifth come through. This is the final podium position between Neil Wade in the Mini, starting his last lap, and Colin Voice in the Escort. They go through. Even closer between Piers Grange and Steve Waterman as they head through. It's a yellow Escort, but so it's not Cribs. Oh, it might be Palmer, because his car's yellow, number 1. It could be Tony Palmer in the number 1 Escort. Yeah, BMW's on its own. They were together, so the BMW... through it comes in 7th position. The 21 car of Ben Dillon. Palmer is going to be missing. Now Reynolds should be somewhere in the 27 as well. So the two leaders, as we've said, the Monaro just doesn't seem to be able to do the business right at the end there. It's going to be James Janicki who takes the checkered flag for the first race of the weekend here at Snetterton. The Monaro of Andy Wilson is next up, and that is Andy Cripps, who comes home a lap down in the number 40 machine, but now looking for the third place. Crossing the line into number 2. Now here is third and fourth. It's going to be the Mini in third, unless something disastrous happens to it in Murray's on the last lap. But Neil Wade is going to get his best position in the season so far, which is going to be a third place in the Mini. Behind him, Colin Voice in the Ford Escort, number 121, which means the first boss home is going to be Piers Grange. And here he comes. Piers Grange finishes in 5th position and therefore gets the first boss home. Waterman is next up in the 49, and Ben Dewar should be next up in the